بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Jibreel being sent when Allah created the heavens, the paradise, and he went and saw and he said, everyone wants this. And then he created hellfire and he went and saw and he said, no one wants this. And then Allah surrounded paradise with the life of believers, the lifestyle of the prophets, the lifestyle of righteousness, uprightness, being good, etc. And the trials you face being that way. Not being the one to take advantage of people, but being the one that's taken advantage of. Not being the one to cheat people, but being cheated often. Not being the one to oppress, but often oppressed. Not the one who kills, but may even be killed. This is a difficult path to be upon, and frustrated people want to give in to anger, and so on and so forth, and say, but they did it to us. And I quote Umar Mukhtar, not Umar Mukhtar, Anthony Quinn, really the actor, in the movie Lion of the Desert, when they said, look what their soldiers did to us, we'll do it to them. And Anthony Quinn, as a Muslim, acting as a Muslim, he said, they are not our teachers. So it's important, that lifestyle. So Allah surrounded paradise with this, and the angel Jibreel returned and said, this is going to be very difficult for people to go to. And then he decorated hellfire with all the things that we described, including illegal sex and so on and so forth. I'm going to tell you a horrible joke an Arab sheikh told me once. And it's a horrible joke. All jokes are horrible, they really are, that's why they're funny. Decorated hellfire with all the illegal haram things, all the things that are desires. What kind of things are desires? I want this. I'm going to have that. Going to have some of that. I'm going to have a bit more of this. Just food on the table. Reaching over and just chowing down becomes evil. It's a desire. Give into it. Many people think, how dangerous can this be? It leads to zina. It leads to murder. People don't realize. Just eating food and drinking. If you go too far with it, you go to the next, and it leads you to hellfire. It's one step at a time. Ibn al-Jawzi, rahimahullah, beautifully, a great classical scholar, he used to get thirsty and he'd get so angry. Can I have that bottle, please? He would get thirsty and he would just be like, fine, enough. And he would fight with himself. He'd say, enough. Not enough to quench your thirst, just enough to parch. Just enough to deal with it, but not enough to quench. And when he got hungry, he took a bite and said, enough. Stay hungry. Not too full. And he did this, and when he was asked why, he says, if the nafs, the desires, are constantly thinking about food and drink, it won't think about anything else. This joke is about a man who's married, and he's always leaving his wife, and he's hiring women for the night. Okay, so I said it was a horrible joke, don't look at me shocked. And he's gone with her, and he's got this, he's going out at night, and one night his wife's like, I'll teach him a lesson, so she dresses up. When he leaves, she leaves. But she does herself up quickly and puts on clothes she doesn't recognize. And she goes out a different alleyway. And then she comes in front of him as he walks by, she's like, and she's covered, he doesn't know. And she winks at him and she tempts him and he's like, ooh, I found a good one. So he takes her, they go somewhere and so on and so forth, and you know, don't imagine. Just something happened, you don't know. I started thinking about it. Now I know why Alyas didn't want to tell that story earlier. He's like, this is the wrong place. I just realized. But you know what? Something happened, and in the middle of it, oh my God, it's you. She's like, how could you? How dare you? You this and you. I knew you were up to no good. He's like, by Allah, I had you halal, but you are so delicious haram. It's all about feeding the desire. When the desire eats, it wants more and more. And what will it eat upon? It will eat upon filth. It will eat upon disgust. It will eat upon things that are horrible for you and brings you a lot of harm. I like to clarify a little, I like to add to his statement then. So I just wanted to clarify for you, sex does sell along with everything else that's evil, because that is surrounding hellfire and it's for sale and it's cheap and you can easily obtain it. Very easily. But you gotta work for it, even though it's easy. That's gonna come later, the working for evil and the very easy obtaining of good going into paradise.